6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Kanooz Ashraf. First, the headlines. Prime Minister inaugurated Nashpa oil and gas processing and LPG recovery plant in Karak this evening. President says BISP allocations have been enhanced threefold to ensure accelerated empowerment of women. Foreign Office spokesperson says Pakistan, Iran and Russia have raised concerns on the growing presence of Daesh in Afghanistan. Chinese Foreign Minister has said Beijing is pursuing more robust diplomacy, seeking a greater global leadership role under President Xi Jinping. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed in Baramulla and Shopian today against the killings of civilians by Indian forces. Turkish Foreign Minister says Turkey and Iraq will carry out a joint operation against Kurdish militants in northern Iraq. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has said government has introduced drastic reforms in oil and gas sector, enhancing LPG production from 1,000 to 1,800 tons daily. He was addressing a function after inaugurating Nashpa oil and gas processing and LPG recovery plant in Karak this evening. The Prime Minister said increase in LPG production is saving 10 billion rupees annually. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi said the plant will minimize the import of petrochemical products from abroad. President Mamnoon Hussain has launched National Socio-Economic Registry Program of Benazir Income Support Program aimed at widening social safety network. He launched the program at a ceremony held in Islamabad today to mark completion of 10 years of the program. The President expressed the confidence that it would help improve transparency and enable relevant institutions to reach out to the needy families and individuals. He said the program would help contribute towards poverty alleviation. President Mamnoon Hussain said the government increased allocations for BISP threefold and this would lead to accelerated empowerment of women. He said the National Socio-Economic Registry of BISP being a credible and comprehensive social safety data will also help other public sector organizations to reach the destitute and marginalized segments of the society more easily and transparently. Foreign Office spokesperson Dr. Mohammad Faisal has said that Pakistan is committed to an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned resolution of Afghan crises for regional peace and stability. In his weekly news briefing in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan has actively participated in second Kabul meeting in pursuance of its policy to take part in all multilateral forums geared towards peace and stability in Afghanistan. He said during the meeting, Pakistan, Iran and Russia raised concerns on the growing presence of Daesh elements in Afghanistan and its implications for security and stability of the country. Dr. Faisal said peace and stability in Afghanistan is a shared objective for both Pakistan and US, and Pakistan is extending all-out cooperation to achieve this end. He said visit of Foreign Secretary to the US is part of continued engagement with the United States and is reflective of our common desire to work together to achieve peace and stability in Afghanistan. Interior Minister Ehsan Iqbal says terrorism has been eliminated from the country as a result of Operation Zarb-e-Azb. Addressing a function at Scouts Training Academy near Peshawar today, he said the whole nation and the security forces work day and night for elimination of terrorists from the country. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Maryam Aurangzeb says the Women's Day celebration across the country are an acknowledgement of women's sacrifices and their important role in different strata of life. She was addressing a ceremony held in Islamabad in connection with International Women's Day being celebrated today. The Minister of State said Pakistani women from Fatima Jinnah to Begum Kulsum Nawaz have remained an epitome of courage and determination throughout the history. She said Benazir Bhutto's active struggle for democracy has been internationally recognized. Maryam Aurangzeb stressed the need for implementation of policies and legislation done for women's rights. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa has said that we are proud of role and contributions of our women in uniform back home, and especially the ones who belong to martyrs' families. He said that great Pakistani women have a role and responsibility towards progress of Pakistan. Supreme Court of Pakistan has ordered 4 newly elected senators to present their affidavits on Saturday, stating that they have renounced foreign nationality before contesting recent Senate elections. This is Radio Pakistan. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has said under Road and Belt Initiative, China is building over a dozen power stations in Pakistan, and a large number of these projects are supplying electricity to tens of thousands of Pakistanis. Addressing a news conference on a wide-ranging foreign policy issues in Beijing today, he said when all of these projects are completed, the power cuts and electricity shortages in Pakistan would be a thing of the past. Chinese Foreign Minister said about 80 countries and organizations have signed BRI agreements with China. A large number of these projects are underway, adding momentum to the socio-economic development of host countries. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed in Baramulla and Shopian today against the killings of civilians of Indian forces. All shops and business establishments were closed while public transport was off the road. On the other hand, while the world is observing the International Women's Day today, the miseries and agonies of Kashmiri women continue unabated in occupied territories. According to a report released of Kashmir Media Service, thousands of women are among 94,930 civilians martyred by Indian troops and paramilitary personnel since the uprising for freedom launched in 1989. In Sri Lanka, Buddhist mobs swept through Muslim neighborhoods in Central Hills and destroyed stores and restaurants despite curfew and deployment of heavy security forces. Local residents said today that about 50 people broke into Muhammad Ramzeen's restaurant in the town and destroyed everything they found. Similar attacks were made at a hilly town, Kandy. Roads and streets of these towns were deserted, but only police and soldiers were present. Turkey and Iraqi central government in Baghdad will carry out a joint operation against Kurdish militants in northern Iraq. It was stated by Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu in Ankara today. He remarked that the cross-border operation may start after parliamentary elections in Iraq scheduled for May this year. 11 countries are expected to sign a landmark Asia-Pacific trade agreement in Santiago today as an antidote to the increasing protectionist bench of the United States, which pulled out of the pact last year. The signing ceremony is taking place at a time when Europe and the International Monetary Fund urged U.S. President Donald Trump yesterday to step back from the brink of a trade war sparked by plans to slap duties on steel and aluminum imports. The U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is visiting Ethiopia, where he held talks with a top African official today. Addressing a joint news conference in Addis Ababa, the African Union Commission Chairman Moussa Faki referred to President Donald Trump's slur regarding African nationals and said that he believes that the incident is a part of the past. In the Pakistan Super League at Dubai, Islamabad United against Lahore Qalandars were 150-5 in 19 overs a short while ago. Earlier, Islamabad United won the toss and elected to field. The second match will be played between Karachi Kings and Quetta Gladiators at Dubai tonight. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is expected in most plain areas and cool condition in northern areas of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain thunderstorm with gusty winds is expected at isolated places in Zob, DG Khan, DI Khan, Bannu, Peshawar and Fatah. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of a bulletin on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.